Brian Wilson, the mastermind behind that palm tree, sun, and surf music, has died at the age of 82. Tributes all the way around. We're going to talk about him later tonight. I've heard story after story through all of the years of me talking to people like Pat the Caesar, and, of course, Rich Engler, Ed Traviseri. Mike Love, who I have interviewed many, many years ago on a number of occasions, because the Beach Boys always seem to roll into Pittsburgh during the heat of the summer and usually around the 4th of July. And they are still touring, still doing what they're doing to this day. John Stamos now of, that little household, he's playing drums with them. But at one time when Brian Wilson needed to step back because of the pressure cooker of being who he was and was dealing with some mental illness, there was a guy who stepped in and went on tour with them. He was a studio musician, and about that time he had made a name for himself by playing lead guitar on Frank Sinatra's #1 hit record, Strangers in the Night, which was from a Ronald Reagan, Angie Dickinson film entitled The Killers. Well, that person was Glenn Campbell. That's right, the Rhinestone Cowboy. But what you don't understand about the Beach Boys had to jump up on that British invasion because they started to make a name for themselves in the late 50s and early 60s because of their father, who was a workhorse, and he was a tyrant. But Brian was the Mozart, the Beethoven of that music. The album Pet Sounds, critically acclaimed, still one of the best of all time, and the music that he created has withstood the test of time. And because of battle after battle after battle, his life was like being in a prison. Even though he was a free man, there were times that he didn't leave his room for days and weeks and months at a time, just trying to figure it all out. I used to feel such pain for this guy, but their music brought me joy. And when I have been going through such pain in my life, the breakup of a marriage, your children growing up, certain things don't work out the way you would like when it comes to your job performance, and more importantly, losing family members like your mother and father and grandparents, there was always the Beach Boys to put a smile on our face. But just like so many kids of the 60s, we wanted to be like them. Tank tops, cut-off shorts, flip-flops, and yes, even getting hydrogen peroxide to dye our hair blonde and a little earring. Yeah, we just wanted to live that surfer life. We wanted to be in California. We wanted to buy the Volkswagen bus or either hitchhike from the East Coast to the West, all because of the beautiful girls, the beautiful music, and that sun-drenched sky that was always on one of their album covers. I will always be indebted to Brian Wilson, and believe it or not, short turnaround last night, back here earlier today, and then back tonight. It was going to be a challenge. I was a little tired, but when I got in my car before hearing of his passing, the very first song I heard was Good Vibrations, which made me smile and simply say, it's going to be a good day. But it'll always be a great day because their music will be around for an eternity. Brian Wilson has passed away at the age of 82. More of a tribute coming up later tonight with your Pratt Pack on KDKA.